seems turned upside down, we sort through it together. Weekends with Jason Olbourne on today's News Talk, TNT.
Welcome back to Weekends. This is the run home for me, and it is the beginning of a brand new way of thinking. We're here with guest Michael Tellinger. Michael, now is the time. Let's talk about contributionism. What is it, and how does it relate to our small town?
Well, thanks very much. Contributionism, the explanation is in the word. Contributionism. That's what it is, where people contribute their talents, their skills towards their community, towards the upliftment of their community and themselves and their families, but they contribute so that everybody in the community can benefit from their skills and talents. And that's a very simple philosophy that we implement in the One Small Town initiative. But to implement that is not as simple as people would imagine, because we have all the rules and regulations and the laws and the acts and the bills and so forth. So we've had to learn over especially the last 4 years, how to navigate this ocean of obstacles and hurdles and find solutions to bring this kind of life into the small towns of the world.
So contribution itself, the idea of being able to make a contribution in one small town, I remember watching the 15-minute video on YouTube, which explained it beautifully. The idea that you could contribute in a small community, and you talked about towns perhaps of, say, 5,000 people, give or take, that could contribute perhaps 3 hours a week to creating something that in that town is very good at doing, whether it be, the growing of a crop or, the sewing of clothing or whatever it was, and become expert in that and thereby creating technically economies of scale. Is that a reasonable way to summarize?
Yes, it is. It's a very, very light and entry-level way. Let me just say this. We're doing something that's never been done before. So we literally are learning every step of the way. We're building the airplane as we're flying it. And that's how somebody recently described it. And I love that description. So I'm using it now because there is no textbook. There's no playbook for us to follow this. The Ubuntu Contributionism book that I released in 2014 is the foundation for this. But now how to implement this, where the community works together for the greater benefit of everybody. How does that work? How do we make it work? So what I can explain to people listening to this is, first of all, go to our onesmalltown.org website. It is quite up to date. It's constantly changing because we're constantly shifting and moving and updating and improving things. But go and read the onesmalltown.org website and inform yourself with what we do, how we work. But in a nutshell, it's any town anyway, but we call it One Small Town because it's a lot easier to implement something like this in the small town where the people know each other, where we can call a town meeting very quickly, and a large number of representatives of the town would arrive. So it's a lot easier to do it in small towns than in cities or urban areas. It's virtually impossible to do this in the cities. So One Small Towns are also filled with people with incredible talents and skills and know-how, and farmers and engineers and retired this and retired that, and architects, and so we have a pool of incredible talent sitting there, and they're all very keen to do something. First of all, to premise this is the reason that One Small Town is happening is because virtually everyone alive today, and I'm making an assumption here, and I'm making almost an absolute statement here. Almost everyone alive today is unhappy with what's going on in the world. I don't think there are many people that wake up in the morning and say, wow, what a great world. Everything is going my way. What a great future we have. My children's future is fantastic. My life's looking so rosy. I don't know anyone that goes through that thought process. So we have to assume that very few people are happy with what's going on in the world. Very few people are happy with what their governments are doing. Very few people are happy with their jobs and how hard they have to work to put food on the table and take care of their family, and all the nonsense they have to deal with just to stay alive. So almost everyone is looking for a better way of life, a better way to live, a better world. And that's what One Small Town presents. We present a solution to the frustration, the misery, the depression that so many people around the world are facing. And we're doing it by not fighting the system. We're doing it by creating something different, something alternative that will eventually make the current existing system obsolete. And we're doing it in the small towns. So if you just take, say, a number of small towns as people, and take a town of 10,000 people, and if every one of us contributes 3 hours a week, that gives us 30,000 hours of labor, 30,000 hours that we need to do something. That suddenly makes us equivalent to a very large corporation, whether it's Mercedes-Benz or who knows, a very large factory that is either building something, manufacturing or creating or growing or packaging something. Now, you could that turns your town and your members in your town, the people that live in your town, into a powerful labor force. And we can pretty much choose to do anything we want with that labor force, because it's our labor force. It's our choice to contribute those 3 hours a week. Some people want to contribute more. Some people want to contribute 3 hours a day because they get so excited about this. And that is what's happening now. So we've got a few small towns that have launched over the last 2 years. And we've been learning the really by trial and tribulation, what works and what doesn't work. We've just recently sort of, I guess, perfected it as to how do we start to implement this One Small Town initiative, by appointing an ambassador, by putting a bunch of people around that ambassador that are business-minded, that know how to project manage, that know how to take an idea and turn it into something that's going to make money and be successful. At the same time, we look at the upliftment projects, the community upliftment projects, the things that cost money, that don't make money, the things like fixing the roads and the parks, helping the schools and the orphanages and the old age homes, and a food kitchen for those that don't have any food, and all the things that we would love our town to see and to look beautiful, but it's not looking beautiful because our municipalities are either stealing the money or the politicians are stealing the money, and the money is not reaching the towns and the people, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So we take a team of people and we do a 2-year plan for our town, or a 12-month to a 2-year plan. And we say, this is what we do. We identify the business opportunities, the things that we have naturally that we can use and turn into businesses. We look at the community upliftment projects and we put this into a spreadsheet and a plan for 12 to 24 months and say, right, this is what we're going to do with our town. We have what we call an ambassador with a support team. And that's when we get going. So this is a brand new strategy that we just really put together about 3 months ago, after more than 2 years of trying things and realizing it doesn't work. You can't just appoint somebody and say, okay, well, let's get everybody to work together and start some businesses together. You need a structure. So to achieve that, we've created what we call the One Small Town platform. It's a very powerful online blockchain type platform that manages all of this. It allows the members to sign up as members for your specific small towns. It allows people anywhere in the world to sign up as a member, just a member that sits somewhere in the world that supports the One Small Town initiative. It allows people to sign up and apply to be either an ambassador or an accountant or a bookkeeper or a project manager or a business planner, which we desperately need people to write business plans, because without business plans, you can't put together a funding mechanism to raise funds for those businesses and so forth. So we now have a powerful platform that helps people to sign up as members. It manages all the projects that we start where we need people for the 3 hours. They get a membership card. It works with QR codes. It's a highly, highly secure and sophisticated system that allows us to monitor in our towns that people are delivering their 3 hours a week or 3 hours a day, that they're going where we need them to go, or where, when I say we, it's not me, where the town's management team, where they need the people to go to do this. We either work on the farms and picking fruit, or packaging something, or building fridges, or making tables, whatever it is, or breeding horses. It's up to the community to decide what kind of businesses they want to start. So it's not driven by me. We just share ideas and we provide our experience and the platform upon which they can build this for themselves. So any town, anywhere, any community, anywhere, can log on right now, become a member, and then go and apply to be an ambassador, or apply to be a project manager or a business planner, and start putting this thing together. We'll help you, we'll guide you, and help you launch this in your community. Now, to to reward people for their 3 hours a week, we've created what we call our own membership token, which is an NFT, a non-fungible token. And it is, as far as we know, the most valuable community token in the world right now. It has replaced what Bitcoin was supposed to do. Bitcoin came in with big fanfare and big promise and as an alternative means of exchange with people, and very quickly became an alternative means of enrichment and helped nobody except a few Bitcoin billionaires and a bunch of people who made a lot of money. Well, what we call the infinity token, because its potential is ultimately infinite. Every time you contribute your 3 hours towards your community projects or uplifting your town or teaching something or doing anything for your community, you've spent 3 hours of your life. That is the most precious thing that we have. Our time, our life, our 3 hours of our time that we've contributed, which means it's an asset-backed community token. So every member that contributes their 3 hours automatically gets an infinity token in their digital wallet as a One Small Town member. And at the end of the week or any time, you can go to the One Small Town store and get stuff with your infinity tokens from the One Small Town store. Obviously, I can't go into the detail how this all works. All of this is on our website and will be in more detail as this thing grows, because the One Small Town stores are a relatively new addition to this very exciting, growing and evolving solution for the world. So we literally have put together a solution for communities to come together, start cooperating and collaborating. And that is the fundamental essence of this: unity, cooperation, and collaboration. Unless we do those three things, we will not succeed in escaping the slavery system that has been imposed on us. It's really that simple. So we better start working together, cooperating, collaborating for the benefit of our whole community, not just me, but what can we do for ourselves that will create a foundation for decades and centuries of prosperity and abundance for our future civilizations and our children. And we've got that platform now, and we're literally getting out of the starting blocks with some very exciting technologies that we're about to launch that will change the world. I'm not going to mention what kind of technologies they are, but I'll let your imagination run wild. And also with seed treatment technology that helps seeds grow quicker, faster, strengthens the DNA. It basically strips the GMO from the seeds and creates seeds that will help our small farmers grow seeds for the big farmers and create food abundance and food prosperity for our communities. We've created a funding mechanism where every small town and every community, whatever business you come up with, whether it's a brewery that needs $100 million or whether it's a hospital that needs $500 million, it doesn't matter what business you want to start whether it's a shoe factory or planting food, as long as you have a business plan and the business plan shows a good profit, it will attract investors. So we have now created a mechanism by which small towns and small communities can fund their own business plans and get funding for what they want to do in their communities. And we've just launched last week our very first funding token, our investor token, for the first One Small Town health center in Ras El Mat in Lebanon. That's one of our most successful One Small Towns. And boy, what a great place to be right now, because this is a state-of-the-art, world-class health center with all the latest technologies, with about 40 doctors, leading international doctors and experts in their field, all contributing their time. So that's going to create health tourism from the whole Gulf area to this health center, while it provides those health services that community could never afford. So now the members of One Small Town get 5-star world-class health services, while it provides 5-star world-class health services to all the rich people in the whole Gulf area. So we're busy funding that, and we've launched our first investor token for the Ras El Matan Health Center, and it's literally a week old. So I would really urge all your listeners and viewers to go onto onesmalltown.org and go and support this initiative. This is how we cross-pollinate and help to crowdfund each other's businesses, from one small town to another, from people that live in the cities that want to help One Small Town, that are passionate about One Small Town, but they don't live in the One Small Town. This is your opportunity to now get involved and really help this initiative to explode around the world. because there'll be more businesses starting and needing funding on a weekly and a monthly basis.
Michael, one of the beautiful things about what you've been able to explain is the term abundance. We live in a world that is pushing the idea of scarcity. You flip that on its head and you've created a system whereby abundance is what comes. The other beautiful thing about what you said was that even though you said it's not about me, it requires the ability through motivation that we all naturally become self-starters, but at the same time, we make a contribution into a collective, which is our own private communities, wherever it is that we operate in the world. So for the first time, a system that is working outside of the political spectrum is combining what traditionally would be the left, the collective idea, and the right, which is the self-starter, putting it all together, meaning that everyone wants to be involved and the shackles of politics fall away, never to be spoken of again if we can get into a system. It is truly incredible, remarkable, and the product obviously of a life's work with the system and people around you that it seems it rubs off, because there seems to be very little resistance in what you're doing. It's just momentum on top of momentum and good ideas through sound research that becomes this inspiration for all of us to realize that at long last, there is a pathway out to a much better world for we, the human species, who don't even know where we came from. So how can we know where we're going? And this is the wonderful thing in this summation of this short, really, conversation today. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I just want to say thank you so much. michaeltellinger.com. Michael, thank you for being on the show. Incredible.
Thank you very much, Jason. And just for your viewers, again, go to onesmalltown.org, learn all about the One Small Town initiative. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to take that. We'll have to go in a minute, but when we do, coming up after the break, Alex will be here talking tech. You have been watching Weekends with Jason Olbourne. This is with Michael Tellinger, superstar, rock star, the next Indiana Jones. It doesn't really matter, but onesmalltown.org is where you need to go. And of course, there'll be a book there on michaeltellinger.com to change the way we look at everything. What a great show. What a great interview. What a great time to be finally inspired and motivated that we are going to get out of this. And boy, oh boy, what a great world we have on the other side. And all you need to do is take that first step. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow, Jerome Corsi to kick off. We're going now. See you next time tomorrow.